Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat 4 Career Mode. I hope you're all having a great day. Today, we start this episode with an in-game career mode announcement for something coming up. There you see the article on your screen. Owen to attempt the double. Gary Owen in his second Cup season is set to attempt the double by racing in the Monaco GP and the Coca-Cola 600 on the same day. Owen will be starting at the back in Charlotte as he will miss qualifying for the Cup Series as he will be in Monaco for Formula One racing that one. So we will be in the double, like I said, on the Charlotte weekend in just a few episodes' time. And so obviously I have a quote after this article came out. I am excited for this opportunity with Haas F1 team. I'm a big fan of F1 and can't wait for the race. Timing will be tough, but we should get back just in time for the Coca-Cola 600 to successfully complete the double here for the first time in our NASCAR Heat 4 career mode. I did this back in NASCAR Heat 3 once, where we did F1 and the Coca-Cola 600 in the same episode. So we're going to see obviously how we do this time around. But obviously we come to the Xfinity series here for the Dover race weekend. We had subscriber Gabby in the car. This is a special race, and I'm thinking we're going to try and make this a special race every season. As you guys know, when we go to Dover in the spring, it's an autism awareness event. So we're trying to have that come into play here in the career mode. So we had Gabby, who is a person that, or a subscriber, a part of our community who does deal with autism, and so we had her in the car now, as we had K17 one time in the car as well back in NASCAR Heat 3. And I want to do this for maybe every time we come to Dover as a little special thing. But Gabby came out of turn 4 at this point now on the final lap. It was actually a very solid finish as our team continued to improve. It was P13 here at Dover International Speedway, I think they call it, but Michael Annette did get the victory. So obviously, though, it was time to set our sights on the Cup Series here as we came through into qualifying through turns 3 and turns 4. The goal was a 23.327 as we came out of turn 4. It wasn't a great lap, but it was pretty decent as we hit a 23.0, and it was P4. So like I said, wasn't perfect, but it was certainly one of our better ones that we've had in a while now, as it's Denny Hamlin on the pole as we get ready to go green here in Dover.
This is Rick Allen, and today we're at Dover International Speedway for the running of the Gander RV 400. Also known as the Monster Mile, the banking here is so high, drivers often call it a roller coaster ride. Well, it's time to go for a ride. Let's send it trackside.
Thank you, Rick Allen. We're ready to go green here for the Gander RV 400 at Dover International Speedway. Martin Truex Jr. and Ryan Truex, both brothers, happy with us, so that's always good. And then we got Denny Hamlin, who is on the pole, ready to lead the way alongside his teammate of Kyle Busch, just a row in front of us as we're starting on the second row. It's JGR starting 1, 2, 3. The 3 drivers on that team that usually seem to be running up front the most now as we get ready to go green here in Dover. And the green flag is out. Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch lead the way. It's a very slow restart for both of the front row runners, and we give Kyle Busch a huge shot to the back bumper, which propels him out to the lead, as I wasn't expecting such a slow restart, or a slow start for those guys in front of me. So I think in real life that would have actually been a penalty on Kyle Busch, as you're not allowed to beat the leader to the line on the initial start of the race, which in my opinion is a terrible rule in NASCAR, and I hope that gets taken out one day, because you don't really have control if someone behind you is pushing you or not to the front. Now as we come through to complete this first and opening lap, though, here at Dover, Hamlin, the pole sitter, runs the top here through turns 1 and 2. We did that in turns 3 and turn 4. Kyle Busch out to the lead as we're slipping and sliding there after touching the apron, and there goes the 19 to our inside as we go down this back straightaway. And immediately I was noticing a little bit of an issue. The car was slipping and sliding, and we would lose a bunch of track position. We had dropped down all the way to P8 as Keselowski, Truex, they had all gotten ahead of us, including a few others, as we dropped, like I said, to P8. Kurt Busch had actually taken the lead at this point, and as we came through on lap 13, the car just continued to some reason just get really bad. It was slipping and sliding all over the place. Chris Buescher, he was able to pass me. Joey Logano, there you see behind me, William Byron, they were closing in on me really quickly, as well as everything was going wrong. I just didn't know what was going on with this car at this point, as the car drove fine before this. I've been using the same adjustments that I used last time at this track, as we have a big moment there, sliding, almost taking out Climbora towards the inside wall, and we dropped all the way down to P12, and it was just continuing to spiral out of control at this point, past the halfway point. The stage racing very loose into the outside wall, taking some damage to the right side. No caution comes out. The damage wasn't as bad as I expected it to be when we hit that wall pretty hard, but like I said, just continuing to fall down the order. We had fallen down all the way to P25 behind Landon Castle. I have no idea what's wrong wrong with this car at this point, as I'm just hanging on for dear life. Clearly, we're going to have to make some massive adjustments, but we came to lap 24, and we actually had to make green flag pit stops at this point. And Alex Bowman had actually taken over the lead. He was starting to put some pressure on actually putting me a lap down, so I decided we were just going to take 2 tires. We'd come into our pit box. It was a 10.9 second stop. It would have been about 3 seconds shorter, but I decided to actually fix the damage. I decided to take a huge swing on the car, put the wedge up by quite a bit. I think I put it around 50.1 or so. So we enter the track once again, and obviously hope that the car drives a little bit better. And the pace wasn't really much better. We gained a little bit of time due to the pit stops, but Bowman, he was still putting on the pressure, but he had actually just crossed the line to win the stage as we were running here at P19 on the opposite side of the track. Now as we exit turn 2, you see me still slipping it around as Cody Ware behind us, or actually another BJ McLeod. He was putting on the pressure as we went down into turns 3, and then finally 10th place crosses the line. So we get P19 here in stage 1. I had no idea what was going on at this point because, like I said, I was running the same adjustments that I did last time we were at Dover, and the car drove fine there, so I was pretty baffled at this point, and I decided to take another swing at the car with the wedge. I thought about doing some tire pressure adjustments, and I put the wedge up to 50.1, hoping that maybe if we just take a swing at it like that, it will pay off. So I decided 4 tires, obviously. Everyone came back to the pit lane, and we would come out in P18 getting ready to start stage 2. Certainly, I have never had a car quite drive like that in a NASCAR Heat 4 career mode, but hopefully now as the second stage is underway here in Dover, it will be much different in a positive way now as Kevin Harvick, our teammates, just in front of us. Denny Hamlin actually back out front. Bowman won the stage. Alex Bowman has been the best Hendrick Motorsports driver this season in our career mode so far. No Hendrick drivers have won, but he is certainly leading that pack, as William Byron has done pretty well this season, and so is Chase Elliott. Jimmy Johnson, he's still having a bit of struggles, but I think he's got a lot more potential this season than he did last season in our career mode. There's across the line, completing the opening lap of the second stage. At this point, the car felt certainly better, but the car felt pretty decent at the start of this race, so I was still a little bit concerned, but you see me making up some ground here, passing now our teammate Clint Boyer. We'd continue to move forward past Ryan Newman, and now getting to the inside of Ryan Blaney, closing back in towards a top 10 position. Up ahead you see it was Hamlin and Bowman battling for the lead position, and Alex Bowman once again would take the lead and start to drive away, as I believe it was Kurt Busch up in second. We had actually passed Chris Busch. We moved up now to P9 and then closed in on the back of Martin Truex Jr. Look to the inside of him here on lap 6. We were clearly moving forwards here, and it looks like we've actually got some adjustments that were pretty well, as we would be able to climb up to P7. Then we started to lose a little bit more ground. Now as we go down in turn 3, it's the 24 of William Byron, who just went spinning into the outside wall. The caution comes out. I was just talking about William Byron having a pretty solid season, and there he goes spinning into the outside wall. He would be out of this race. That would DNF him out of here. So unfortunate for William Byron. Some cars pitted. I decided I was going to stay out and get ready to go green here from P4, just like we started the race with, as I'm going to give a shot to the back of the 88 of Alex Bowman. Not as hard as I did to Kyle Busch on the original start, because I knew what to expect this time as it went down into turns 1. Behind us, Newman made it 3 wide with Joey Logano, and Chase Elliott there, he's going to be on my inside as we go down this back straightaway here on lap 16 of 27 in the second stage. But thankfully we cleared Newman with help from the draft into turn 3, so I was able to get to that bottom lane now as we come through the center of the corner on the exit of turn 4. Kurt Busch and Kyle Busch run 1-2. Kurt still looking for win number 1 on the season, but as we continued on to lap 21, you can see how much ground I was losing at this point now, as Kurt Busch was leading the way, and then Keselowski, he drives by me. The car was starting to fall off again at this point. Hamlin passed me, Truex passed me, and then Tyler Reddick was closing in on me as we approach this final lap of the second stage now, just trying to hold on to stage points. So certainly, usually the long run is good for me, but the long run today did not feel good at all now as we head down this back straightaway. Starting to slip and slide a little bit, but the car was so much better as we did. I just don't know what in the world happened in stage 1, but thankfully we got it figured out here now as we come through turns 3 and out of turns 4. We're going to come through to get stage points. A big turnaround from the disastrous first stage to get P7 here in stage 2. Clint Boyer got P8 behind us, and then obviously it was Alex Bowman once again winning the stage. And once again, though, I decided to make a bit of an adjustment to the wedge of the car, but 2 cans of fuel, 4 tires was what I was going to do. And then you see me make a very slight tire pressure adjustment there with the right front. The right rear also, I think, was at the same at that point now, as we would come out P7 just like we came in, and we would get ready to go green here to start the third and final stage. Alex Bowman won the first 2 stages, I believe it was, and here he is leading the way for the start of the third and final stage at Dover. Denny Hamlin just in front of us, Kyle Busch on that second row trying to put the pressure. Bowman has a terrible restart, and Kurt Busch takes the lead now as Bowman drops down to the 4th position, being put under pressure by the 11 car of Denny Hamlin as they exit turn 2 side by side. We are with Martin Truex Jr. in the number 19 cars. Behind us is Logano and our Stewart Haas Racing teammates of Clint Boyer, who were side by side going down into turn 3. Keselowski, Bowman up on the top now as we exit turn 4, getting into the left rear of Alex Bowman. He hangs on to it, a tremendous save by the Hendrick Motorsports drivers. We go down into turns 1. Bowman back to that inside lane as Keselowski continues to commit to that top lane, and unfortunately for him, he is now put under pressure by Alex Bowman. I could have made it 3 wide there if I was really aggressive enough, but I knew Alex Bowman had a really fast car that I didn't really want to mess him over at this point, because he's clearly moving forwards already there as we actually get into the 2 of Keselowski just a little bit there now as we go down into the first corner here on lap 65 of 100. Now actually touching the apron, and that loosened me up a little bit, allowing Keselowski to fight back now on the exit of turn 2. We make contact, we kind of chop his nose, that was all on me, but then we would come through now on lap 67, putting the pressure on Alex Bowman, looking to his inside, as all of a sudden it didn't seem like the 88 quite had the speed that he did in the first 2 opening stages, but just didn't quite have enough in my car to be able to actually clear Bowman. As you see, we come out of turn 4 very close there with the 88, but he gets clear, and that was pretty much all I had for him, because now we come to lap 74, and Bowman had started to drive away just a little bit. Keselowski had gotten past me, and then Eric Jones got to my inside, as now at this point the car was starting to fall off a little bit. Kurt Busch leading the way as he went down into turns 3, and there you just see everyone starting to drive right on by me. Jones, Truex now as we get a little bit sideways there, having to get out of the throttle, and that would allow Logano as well to go by as we continued to lose time at this point, dropping now down to the 10th position as a caution actually would come out here with 20 laps to go. Denny Hamlin at this point leading the way, and everyone would be coming to the pit lane. I knew 2 tires would be the way to go if we didn't want to give up a ton of track position, so I decided that's exactly what we're going to do. I could have just went for 4 because we do have a win, or 2 wins this season, back-to-back wins coming into this race, so I don't think we're going to go 3 in a row at this rate. But obviously Denny Hamlin leads the way coming into the pit lane, but he did lose a position on the pit lane. Kurt Busch now cycles through to take the lead. Kyle Busch and Eric Jones on row number 2, Bowman and Keselowski on row number 3, and we are on this 4th row as the green flag is back out here. Less than 20 laps to go. Now is this a slow restart on the inside lane especially, and now as we go down into turns 1, Truex takes Bowman and Keselowski 3 wide. That's not the first time Bowman's been taken 3 wide on a restart. Now as his really strong car has just completely fallen off in these later stages of this race here. Now as we go down into turns 3 alongside our teammate of Clint Boyer, is now we're giving up a bunch of time as we go way wide into the 3rd turn, as I just felt really tight all of a sudden as we came out of turn 4. So starting once again to lose time here as we came through on lap 90, approaching 10 to go. Kyle Busch had taken the lead, and then Kyle Larson, who got to my outside. If you remember, he's no longer a rival, thankfully, and he would just blow right on by me. I didn't want to pressure him too much. I'm very happy with having my favorite driver not being a rival anymore. Now is Logano. He would get to my inside on lap 93 as I had a bit of a slip up there, and then the 9 of Chase Elliott closed in on us as well, and Elliott would try to put the pressure on me. I thought he was going to go inside, so I stayed high. Sure enough, he goes actually to the outside. He would be able to get past me, and I would not have anything for Chase Elliott. We would drop down to P15, and there you see him up ahead now as he came out of turn 4, approaching now the final lap here at Dover. Blaney now behind us, trying to put the pressure on as Kyle Busch continues to lead the way. 4 wins already on the season for Kyle Busch. As he came through turns 3, he's already coming through out of turns 4. He's going to make it 5 wins on the season already. Kyle Busch would win here in Dover now as we're just coming through the final few corners now. At this point, stage 1 was a disaster. We rebounded in stage 2. We had solid speed here in stage 3, but the long run in the older tires just didn't play out in our favor, and we come through to get the 15th position, as it is a 1-2 for the Busch brothers today in Dover. So Kyle Busch has had an incredible start to the season, and obviously he gets it or continues it today with win number 5 on the season. So very good for him. I believe that was, career win number 65. Like I said, as you guys know, I do keep track of the driver's stats. So I believe that was his 65th career win. I'll have to double check on that one. But there you see the finishing order. William Byron with a DNF, but after the race it said something was wrong in stage 1. We got it fixed. We ran better after that, but still didn't quite have what we needed to be competitive, especially within like the final 25, 30 laps or so. But in the next one, we go to Kansas. So a mile and a half, that's one of my favorites. So hopefully we can run well there. And as always, if you guys did enjoy this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be very, very appreciated. There you see the playoff grid. Jimmy Johnson, 25 out. Corey LaJoie is now out. And Ryan Newman holds the last spot in. So we'll see how this develops in the next one at Kansas. So thank you for watching, everybody. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everyone.